we are working with class oversampling. Again, we are taking the same credit card data set, credit card fraud detection data set, and we are working on it. So let's explore that, guys, and welcome back to my channel again, and let's talk. So the first part or the first point here is we are taking our base libraries. Then after that, we understood this data set already. We will straight away go ahead with the head part, and this is my head part, and the same things we have here. This is the info, and we have the descriptive statistics part here. Then we are moving ahead with the null values and all. Then we are understanding the value counts. Now we will straight away come back to our oversampling, how we can implement, because this is huge. Oversampling methods are huge, right? So we will understand that very deeply. So let's see. So the first part here we are doing it is our train test split. Then after that, I am going here with logistic regression, as this is a binary classifier. You can use KNN, even that is also a valid one. You can try with it, but I have used logistic regression. Then these are the different metrics I have taken: classification, report, confusion matrix, accuracy score, and ROC uses score. Then this is oversampling. And what are the things we are using? So we have these 4 methods already: random oversampler, smooth, borderline-smote, and ADASYN. And all these 4 we understood during the theoretical part. Now we will see how it works. And guys, if you have not, like I already mentioned, if you do not have your Imbalance, you can use this as well. This will also work. Pip install Imbalance. So we have understood like imbalance learning. That is one thing. And you can use this Imbalance, right? I just put in my hand. Okay, Imbalance, right? You can just use directly this one. This will also work. Then after that, we will go ahead and get our dependent and independent variable. This is my train test split. Now we will start one after another, and we saw it is present in oversampling, underscore sampling, random oversampler, the first one. So this is my random oversampler I'm taking, and I'm fitting my model, right? And this is what I'm getting my X-train, sorry, Y-train, and it is X-train. Okay, I just need to run this. Okay, I can rerun again. Run all cells. So guys, you can see here that my Y-train, this is my Y-train contents, and this is my X-train contents. So this is X-train. My X-train contents. X-train we will not get because it is expecting okay, it will not work like this. But yeah, all I can say that my X-train, you can just try to get like this: X-train underscore ROS dot shape. Yeah. So this is how we can get. So yeah, this shape will tell you that okay, I have again the same. If you add these two, right? 0 and 1, 227451 and 227451, I'll get 454902. So all I can say that this data set, this data set contains equal amount of data as both 0 and 1. So this happened after my implementing my oversampling method, random oversampling method. And then after that, I am going ahead and getting my train, and like I'm getting ahead to train my model with my logistic regression. And what are the disadvantages here, guys? Like what I have explained to during our theoretical part, that when we are using this, it simply creates, or it simply copies the data, random data it copies, but again there is a high chance of getting duplicates and risk of overfitting, because if my model will be trained on the duplicate data, it won't work well during our testing phase. So that's the disadvantage. And to avoid that, what is the concept we understood? We understood smooth, where we are going to create synthetic minority oversampling technique, right? So it is going to create synthetic data where, wherever it is finding weak regions or weak areas, it is going to track or train on that. Then this is how, it works. Like, we have smooth, right? And smooth, again, you can just take this and random state 42 smooth. Then I'm just getting my fit resample. Then after smooth, this should be the value counts. You can get the value counts, and the value counts will come same only, guys. This should be the output everywhere. Even though it is using the similar kind of method, yet you can see that we got the same output here, right? Now we will go ahead and predict our model. It's not different. Okay, I just need to use this. I just need to get my model, then after that I just need to use this. So now my smooth, like I'm just getting my model trained with my logistic regression, and I will get my classification report, but it will take some time again. Then we will understand about borderline-smote. What exactly I taught you during our theoretical part, that it is going to focus on the borders, right? And it will try to find the decision, like wherever near decision boundaries, it is trying to see the weak areas. It is going to fill the data with synthetic data. It is going to create synthetic data internally. What is synthetic data again? It's just the amount of data, right? It's just going to create new data. That's the synthetic data. So or in short, if I tell that it is not related to your it is not related to this, it will create different numbers based on the it will read the numbers around it, and it will create new numbers there. That's the synthetic data. And this is how we can get borderline-smote. And I'm just going ahead and doing fit and resample. Then it is generating my data, and then if I'll go ahead and get my value counts, it should give me the output, but it takes time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our model trained. But before that, I need to take my logistic regression and I need to make it trained. So it will be trained, then we will get the classification report for my borderline-smote. Then after that, I am using my ADASYN. What we understood, adaptive oversampling, right? Adaptive oversampling technique. So this is how we can get our ADASYN. And if you want to check, I will show you that library as well. So you can see smote, right? So here, and you can see that it is present in my, I'm imbalanced learn. It is not a part of sklearn again, but yeah, it's a, sister library of your sklearn, I can say. So because the symbols and everything are same. And this is the data, or it is the way it is considering the inputs. So sampling strategy equal to auto, random state none, k neighbors 5. So by default, it is taking k neighbors 5. Then here you can see that sampling strategy, it is taking float, str, dictionary or callable, and default it is auto. Float is only available for binary classification, and error is raised for multi-class classification. Okay. Then we have dictionary, the keys corresponding to the targeted classes, the values corresponding to the desired number of samples for each targeted classes. For dictionary, that is the way. And random state, by default it is none. but you can pass 42. That's the sweet spot, like I already said. Then k neighbors default it is 5, and it presents in our nearest neighbors instance. Then sampling strategy, we have then nn underscore k estimator object, and feature names. These are the additional ones. So everything is available here, guys. Like whatever you want to check, you can come and check here. Everything is present. Then we have, okay, we got our output here. It looks okay. It looks like we got our output here. Okay, so yeah, we were here at in smooth. So you can see that I have got my different classes. Then after that, we can see my classification report. So you can see here my accuracy comes to 0.99. Then this is the input, like 56,864. This is my test data, because we have taken 20% of my mean or the complete data, 20% of that. Then we have this the output I got. Then this is my borderline-smote, and again the borderline-smote is having the same count, but here the process, the way it creates the synthetic data and everything, that's different, or the way it is training, that's different. And this is my classification report, and this is my ADASYN, and this is my classification report. And let's talk about ADASYN. If I'll just type, it should take me to the imbalance class, and let's talk about this as well. It's like the inputs are almost same, guys. I mean, there is no change. But if you want to check what are the additional things which we can see, these are the different methods, right? We can see that fit, we have fit, then we have fit underscore resample. Then we are using this, right? It is resampling the data set. Then if you want to check the get output feature names for transformation, then you can do this. Then we have get metadata routing, then get params, set params. So these are the different ways or the different methods we have again here. So this is how you can check your things, like when you're working, and you will get more clarity of thoughts how it is working, right? And if you want to check on borderline-smote, we can check that as well. Borderline-smote. Yeah, so this is what borderline-smote. We can see it is taking kind borderline 1, m neighbors 10, n neighbors 5. And if we'll see, k neighbors we know. If you want to check m neighbors, the nearest neighbors used to determine if a minority sample is in danger, you can pass. What I taught you for borderline, it is checking different areas, right? Whether it's a safe zone, whether it's a danger zone, or whether it's an outlier zone. 3 zones it is checking. So borderline-smote is always targeting on my danger zone. So here by default it is considering 10, but still it is checking whether my minority samples are in danger or not. It will check that. That's the a way this property, like with this property, we can get or we can achieve. And yeah, we got our output. Okay, for this one we got output, I think, for borderline-smote. No, we have not. But yeah, it will come, guys. It will take some time, however, it will come. But yeah, this is the way we can check our, oversampling. And we have left with one more technique, which is mode NC, nominal and, categorical. We will understand that practical, example during our next video. So start subscribing, guys. Like, share your comments, share your valuable feedback, share this channel link to all your friends and near ones. And let's talk about the next topic of our next practical example during our next video. Thank you. See you till that time. Bye.